Hey guys, Tarp here bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on Eindhoven country. Playing today, spawning in the north, we have Sweetroll working near the door, playing his US forces. His loadout is recon support, urban assault, and infantry company. Throughout them is Adamir Magnum, playing the Brits, who has Australia locked into Commandos. Southeast in the south we have Icon playing as Ostheer. His loader is Jaeger Armour, Spearhead, and close air support, which is a bit of an unusual one. Teaming up with him is Scoped, playing COH2, who has Grand Defensive, Elite Armour, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces. In terms of rankings, this is around rank 120, allied arranged team. These two are an arranged team as well. Haven't quite made their placement matches together yet, but scoped around rank 50 with quite a lot of factions in 1v1. Most factions in 1v1. An Icon and random 2s. I think it's around rank 120 with Ostheer. They do meet the grade. And pretty even matchup to the rankings, I would say. Okay, so Wagon from Scoped, but a universal carrier there to meet it. It was a tough start. And it's come across to the other side as well, forcing back these Fox Treaties in conjunction with the Riflemen, and that is a tough start for Scoped. Machine gun does find a slight angle through the door, firing at those Tommies, and they were considering coming through the centre, but I think it was a better idea to retreat to the north, as they were at risk of being suppressed there. The Wagon finds an angle here, coming around the corner on the rifles, but they quickly back around themselves. Carrier was thinking about going forward to look like, but decided against it. There we go, Vickers K coming in. Adamir. Scope trying to set up some sandbags there, but unsuccessful. Got forced back by the Rifleman. But overall, you know, despite Nexus getting off to a slightly tough start here, they are still holding on to their territory for the most part, haven't been disconnected from their fuel or anything like that, so not the end of the world. They are just inch by inch getting pushed back. This universal carrier a real headache for the Axis right now. I don't know if I can hold back this many units all by itself though, neither does Adamir, pulling back to safety. And the Axis units continuing to charge forward here for Scoped especially. Maybe acting as a bit of a diversion while Icon jumps on top of the cutoff. Speaking of cutoffs, Adamir going for the fuel cutoff there on the Axis side. Here comes a sniper from Icon. I was wondering what he was up to. Saw he missed his third green timing, but replacing greedy with a sniper instead, a decent option, and a pretty aggressive telemine here down from Icon early. If he didn't get spotted while planting, that has actually a pretty decent chance of collecting a light vehicle. Pyflame's coming back to deal with these Tommies. Grenadiers coming in from the other side. Fox Grenadiers forced away on the far flank. And Sniper doing a bit of ring around the rosy, trying to avoid this infantry section. Section itself getting quite low here. There we go, Telemine does collect the universal carrier. Nicely done by Icon. There's a bit of a risk going for a Teller in that position, but it did end up paying off him. It'll be making a slight mistake there. No sweepers on his engineers. They were staying nearby. Not sure if they're quite in detection range, but definitely can't detect them if you don't have any sweepers at all. So there you go. That's the thing with those sappers, you know, like 4 men, if you upgrade them with a sweeper, they just do almost nothing. Big rifle grenade, and Adamir may have cornered himself here. And retreat past this Grenadier. Sternpie is also walking into the retreat path. And there we go. And we're trying to do some tricky stuff, trying to maintain some map control over here, but he ends up costing him his squad, so now he's down 2 units. Very bad. Adamir. Allies have had pretty good fuel control, and we have seen a pretty fast 5-man tech here. Interesting though, he did tech platoon command before going to 5-man.
Orders are ready to be issued for a raiding operation.
I guess maybe to get the engineers for repairs on the universal carrier. Okay, half-track not getting any suppression on there. Okay, nicely, rifleman. Not especially close to vetting up, so don't have to worry about a anti-tank grenade coming through. Machine gun sitting up in the back. He probably could have held his line. Well, maybe not, because they didn't get suppressed. Oh, there they did. Here comes some more units. They're very, very low in health, though. Looks like they're going to be, sharing that medic bunker. There's a mine out there, shoe mine. Sternpie is taking a bit of damage on retreat, and we do have a sweeper out from the Sweetroll, which is nice to see. Doing some capping. Making sure his AA half-track is safe as he pushes forwards aggressively here, but the Axis once again losing control. Kill for the sniper, rifle grenade onto the rear echelon, but they dodge it nicely. Interesting, he spent a lot of time putting down wire over here, that's weird. There we go. AEC for Adamir. Some double light vehicles here for the Allies, in fact. Oh no. Yes, a mortar half-track. Make that triple has gone for Infantry company. So we're going to make use of that mortar half-track. Haven't seen it too much since the white phosphorus on it got nerfed a while ago. It used to be a very, very popular option in team games, but following that nerf, you don't see it too often these days anymore. And a mortar pit going down for Adamir. This is a little bit risky on his side, I would say. He doesn't have that many squads around, so especially if something like the AA half-track gets forced back here, this could be vulnerable just to like an Axis infantry push. A couple of incendiary grenades dropped on it. A little bit risky going for the mortar pit at this stage, but the earlier you can get it, the earlier it can pay itself off, so see how they go. Puma first, the option for scopes, which I think is a fair choice. Go head to head with the already on the field AEC. Would struggle a lot more. Quite a lot of Axis units out on the far flank for Icon, but no enemies over there. Sniper out in the open. There's a couple rifle shots there. Now on the run. Getting suppressed by the squad, does buy the sniper a bit of breathing room, but he already retreated in fact. Playing it safe. Damage the Puma. Oh, a T-gun actually for Sweetroll, okay. Speaking of AT guns, one of the works for Icon. And a Raketen coming out for Scoped. Mortar pit off to a pretty good start, I would say, so far, dropping some shells. Well, maybe that's a mortar half-track. Yeah. Looks like it's targeting this Grenadier squad. They dodge forward, still down 2 models though. Just focusing down the AT gun, which could maybe open up the Puma coming in for some more aggressive damage, but doesn't manage to do too much to it. And a glider back here. Commando glider, so good forward reinforcement. So overall the Allies really setting up shop close to the centre, staking their claim early on in this match. Oh boy, that Puma is just getting ripped apart. The AA half-track, you don't get to see it too often, but when it's cannon, there's a chance to just like set up and shoot on light vehicles like the Puma. It does do very heavy damage, and the tread shot there connecting. So the Kuba also going on down on the far flank, so the Axis are in some big trouble after losing the Puma like that. That was just really reckless stuff from Scopes. Maybe he underestimated the damage from the A half-track, because usually with A half-track you can't afford to just sit there and blast away. Because you have to worry about Puma flanking you, you have to like do on the move, and that, you know, only the machine guns work on it on the move, not the cannons, so I often get to see that kind of head-to-head fight. But Sweetroll was confident, you know, with the EC backing him up there. Could go head-to-head, and Scope probably should have popped the smoke a little bit earlier. Might still have died, but would have given himself a better chance at least.
Enemy forces now have 300. A capture
And
point
that has
is
put
being
the
overrun.
Axis quite far behind. You can hear the announcer there down to 300 VPs already. Very tough start for them. Now we've got some N1919s on the Riflemen, and that they tend to perform really well against Volksstreeters in my experience. Senior grenade flushing them out. Yeah, them 1919 rifles, I think, you know, people do underestimate them a little bit, but I generally find them strong right up until the squads. Like, vet unvetted overs. Once overs get vet 2, that's that's when your rifles start to get dumpstered, but up until then they're pretty damn good. Smoke drop there. No bundle grenade though. And yeah, it's just a meat grinder in the centre at the moment for the Axis. Every time they try to come forwards, more shells falling. Nearly losing the Grenadiers there. A half-track operating on the flanks. Grenadier looks likely to go down. Ouch! But I think that is the right choice from the Axis, trying to branch out away from all the mortar fire in the centre a little bit, try and relieve a bit of that VP pressure. But that's really a shame, like that's where the Puma would shine, coming out to the far flank and assisting in that kind of maneuver. Oof, Scott trying to set up some sandbags here, but just getting shells dropped right on his head. Has to abandon that attempt. The Commandos now making use of all this light cover, trying to sneak forwards. We briefly come out of cover though, that does allow MG to suppress them. Phosphorus drops now on the MG34. Looks like the mortar's starting to open up. The MG42 that got spotted before. Looking to find the AEC, but unsuccessful. Setting up. AEC out of range, and now some Tommies on top of that. Got a mortar pit back the other way by Icon though, didn't mention that. Can be reasonably effective against replacements. The incendiary barrage. So maybe he's going to use that to target the mortar pit later on. Got to get safely within range. Oh boy, don't see this too often. Delayed fuse action. And here we go, Axis making a push right down the center. Here comes the AA half track, a little bit late. Pressure applied to the AT gun, that's going down fast. Suppression's starting to come through now. AT gun moving up. Oh, but it's nearly dead to the mortar. Hits once with the A half track. But the Axis push starting to run out of steam. Some riflemen arrive in support. Of course, these units can reinforce off the glider as well, assisting them with that forward pressure. Nearly. Axis nearly pushed them all the way back there, but Allies holding their ground, and now a forward retreat point up for Sweetroll in the back. They did lose control of the far left flank though, the Allies, so pretty good pushback from the Axis, and wow, straight into the Werfer. Oh boy, that MG34 went down so quickly. 6 kills for that, 5 kills for the mortar pit. And you know, even if these mortars don't land their shell, it's just like the fatigue of having to be aware of what they're dropping on, trying to dodge it potentially or reposition to avoid. Very annoying. Well, I know he's throwing a grenade, but Scope dodging forwards, not backing his way into it, which would have been probably the wipe there, not retreating through it. Held his ground. And wow, Scope going for a late 2-2-3 here, setting it up on the fuel point. Interesting. Going for double kittens now in the meantime. Has got the Spearhead down, and he's really close to a tank. Long range Werf, about a third health off the mortar pit. Not the ideal start for that, I would say. A quarter of a star veterancy. Speaking of increased resources, we've got a fuel cache back here. It looks like the AA half-track just largely being left the back lines now by Sweetroll. And he wants to just leave it safe for anti-air duties later on in the game. Doesn't want to risk it in front of all the AT guns from the Axis. Like we've got some British base artillery coming down over here. Pyrotechnics upgrade Tommy. And the manpower bleed for Scoped. He's doing it tough. Look at that, 32 for 69. Oh man, he's bearing the brunt of all that mortar action. That's for certain. But also, you know, has to deal with these 1919 rifles. And just, you know, when you've got the STGs in like every engagement you have to close the distance, and otherwise you lose. It does mean you accumulate more manpower bleed quite often. Icon playing up for Icon. And instantly shot down, nearly kamikazing on the A half-track itself. That was cool. And Sweetroll going for a Jackson first. Interesting. Oh wow. Another interesting option. Adamir going for a Centaur first. Sometimes I think the Centaur, you know, is an okay pick in these team games if you don't have a source of anti-air already, but with the A half-track already on the field, I feel like the Cromwell's a safer choice. Now a 17-pounder going up right next door to the mortar pit. To the center, wow. It's a pretty bad target. Very easily dodged. That's the mortar pit doing, or mortar half-track doing rather. 6 kills. So very defensive setup here by the Allies, just sitting back waiting for their indirect fire to do the dirty work. Oh, heavy damage onto the Raketten. Oh, it's going to get away. That's a bit lucky. Oh boy, P4 coming forward is looking for the low health Centaur, but threat of the AT gun in perfect position. Decides to pull back, and wow, 17-pounder shot. I think missed there. And I think that would have been the kill if it had connected. So that was actually a little bit lucky for Scopes. Good bundle grenade there. AEC going chasing after the Werfer. Those blows with P4. Oh, and the pack from the side.
The enemy hit our armor rather badly.
AC down. A half-track brought into service on the far flank. Kitten is there. It's away to safety. Okay, it gets the health bonus of Vet 3, right? The half-track, so... Yeah. Yeah? Oh, jumped over now. Can't see. Wolfie coming in. As well as an incendiary barrage from the mortar half-track. Glider down.
The capture point is under attack.
Looks like only one shell from mortar half-track went off. I thought that they did 3 shells now, similar to the incendiary barrage in OKW Firestorm. Maybe they all just landed at the exact same position. Didn't look like it was 3 shells worth of fire though, even in that tiny area. Might have just cancelled it early. Oh, bunker up on the far flank from Icon. Didn't mention there's also a fine position covering that cutoff for the Allies. So yeah, they are really well dug in. Smoke grenade to cover the capture here from the Commandos. Got another glider coming in, as well as a major recon pass. P4 back in action. Is that a priest? Sweetroll just targeting close to the base sector. Just trying to cap in the center once again. Suffering a lot of bleed for the trouble. Ooh, 17-pounder connecting there. Before it gets out of there in time. Coming through.
Emplacement under attack.
But a well-activated brace doesn't end up doing too much damage to the emplacements.
Send orders. Infantry attacking in force.
Kittens trying to stay in a relevant position, but avoid this mortar fire. Not easy. Commandos, all these light cover craters now just permanently in stealth. And that does force off one of the Raketans. Will the Axis branch out to the far side again? They feel like just trying to avoid the center is probably the right thing for them to do. At the moment, especially when they're quite far down in army size. And maybe once they're close to 100 again, they can get something done through the center a bit more effectively.
Emplacement is being attacked.
Commandos taking down that pack very quickly. Thunder grenade. Oh, no. Nothing grenade. Quite get the kill there. P4 on the far side. See, look, it's just clean air over here for the Panzer IV. Jackson can rotate, but, you know, with Raketen support. It's getting forced away itself. In fact, might get decrewed. Those M1919 rifles ripping right through it. Now Jackson trying to go for the follow-up kill. Priest now targeting the other Raketen, which is running forwards. Commandos doing some spotting back here, but here comes the Panzer IV. Upgraded with the Panzer Commander upgrade though, so doesn't have the machine gun to help deal with this infantry here. And both Raketens now decrewed for scopes. And no retreat on those Fulgeniers. He is falling apart here. Incendiary shot. But once again, that time he definitely cancelled it after one shell. I saw it pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure it got changed, so it shoots 3 shots now. Just like it will be incendiary barrage from Firestorm Commander. But I think the range on that fire shell might be the same as 17 pounders
Jerry's
range.
got 200 points remaining.
So it was a little bit risky. Jackson position this time.
He's trying to take a point from us.
Because yeah, he could get, I think, one shot, right? 17 pounder. I didn't know the 223's gun worked while it was set up like this. Usually, the only times in combat for me like this is when it's in a situation where it has to get the hell out and will die otherwise if I don't back out. Essentially on hold fire here for Icon. So not firing. Oh boy, here comes a Stern Tiger for scoped. Interesting idea. Looks like it's been spotted though. There's a Werfer. One opening up. Ruffman, I think, trying to get the snare off there, but too much damage and they end up going down. Small win there for the Axis. Oh boy, running right in front of the Centaur. Grenadier going to go down there. What was that from Icon? That was very, very bad play. P4 getting aggressive here. 17 pounder not facing the correct direction to deal with this. Some Panzer Commander artillery dropped on the mortar pit. Centaur goes down to the P4 with the heat shells. Looks like the artillery was not targeted quite deep enough. Oh boy! Gem Tiger getting a wipe there. P4 continuing on its attack. This time going for the fighting position. 17 pounder. Looks like it got another shot off on the Sturm Tiger as it backed away there. Fighting position does go down.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Oof. Got a few losses there. Kitten getting stolen away by Sweetroll. And a Tiger on the field for Icon. Hit on the rear there. I believe T-guns getting forced back by the rifles. Nexus on the drain down to 175. Getting pushed all the way back, and here comes some air supremacy. Looks like he's dropped it on the mechanized truck there, looking for the kill on it potentially. Let's see how it goes. Bad start there. Not that much damage, often it does closer to 2/3. Truck's still pretty healthy, and walking Stuka going to be the option now for scoped. I think that's a decent choice. But he is a little bit vulnerable to tanks. He lost his Raketans. If he can recrew that one, that would be nice. Which might matter, you know, up against the Churchill for Adamir. He's getting some actually pretty good hits in here. Finally. 5 kills now. I think 2 of those. Oh boy, Commandos with the Piats ambushing the mortar half-track. You don't see that every day. 17 pounder forcing back the Sturm Tiger. And double Jacksons now for Sweetroll.
Causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Icon's going to have to be very good about his AT gun positioning. He's still got this one on hold fire. He is looking to get the neutralized at least. And there we go, clock is stopped, but Axis down to around 150 here. They're in a bit of trouble. Jackson's long range. And that's the walking Stuka. Down the center, not very much damage. Didn't get any kills. Almost went down to the Churchill as well. AT guns a little bit clumsy on the usage there. On health now. One coming out from base. Oh boy, what happened to the Werfer? That died over here as well. Did that go down to the Piet Commandos too? Or did that maybe get hit by a howitzer shell? Sounds like a Mr. Sturm Tiger rocket. Oh, 9 kills. Looks like he got 4 kills with that. One target drop. Doesn't quite manage to take down the mechanized regiment though. Yeah, maybe it did go down to a howitzer shell. I'm not entirely sure though. Oh, tries to go for this recruit. Sounds like a squad went down on base for scopes. Oh man, Raketten, double Jacksons, P4 blitzing away. Coming through, decent damage. Kitten getting regathered. Doing a little bit of damage to the Jacksons, but the Allies still in the driver's seat, just camping out in the center, draining out those VPs. From the Tiger there. 3 kills. Final grenade hoping for the wipe. One more kill, nothing special. Okay. Oh, time on target, dropped on the bunker on the far side, opening up the capture. He's looking for the triple cap here, trying to finish the job. Pretty decent walking Stuka, but not amazing. Sturm Tiger rocket also just a tiny bit too early. He does his health damage, no kills from that shot. Going forwards for a bit of follow-up, but the 17-pounder there, dishing it out. He even popped the piercing shot early, I think, to be able to shoot through that building. And wow, nice attack down through the smoke. Okay, and Icon with some bad AT gun positioning there, ends up losing it. Getting destroyed by a stolen Raketten too. The Jacksons. Artillery dropped on the Raketten, but dodged.
100 points remaining.
Axis down to 100. Allies looking for the triple cap. If easily dodged as well. Sturmpire's going for the cap on the far flank. Got some howitzer action coming through. Ooh, connects with the Werfer. Not a direct hit though. Died to direct hit. It's another Sturm Tiger rocket. 3 kills on that one. A lot of health damage too. Oh boy, P4 in trouble again. Double Jacksons. Popping the blitz. Jacksons not chasing all the way though. So it does get out. Branching out to the far side for the cap. It's going to start somewhere in the 60s, it looks like. No, he's left the capture circle there and run into the cover. Oh, cover seeking behavior. Oh! And there we go. They've got to see it on camera this time. Piet Commandos sneaking forwards and taking out the rocket artillery. I don't think I've seen that one before. But it seems to be actually pretty effective, especially once there's so many craters from all those mortar pit shells and pre-shells. Commandos can sneak around super effectively. Especially on this particular match, where the Axis don't really want to have too many units camped around the centre because they just get bombed out by the mortar pit. So there's not too many things around to detect the Commandos. And the up close and personal on the artillery. Sturm Tiger getting aggressive here. 17-pounder rotating. Sturm Tiger going to take some damage. Oh, he Let's use the attack grounds. About half health off that Rakitten. No kill on it though. Attack ground finally from a 17 pounder, but Storm Tiger already long gone. Once again, Double Jackson's eating into the health of that P4. Getting a little bit helpless here for the Axis.
Our capture point. They're trying to take
Another
it.
P4 out for scoped. Still got that Tiger and now a Panther for Icon, so they've got a pretty good sized army together, getting close to their pop caps. Let's see if they can convert that into some real lasting damage on the Allies' position here. Especially if they can get like a double or like double team going on these double Jacksons. 17 pounder not contributing. Would be huge. There we go. Opening up. Pushing forwards here. Tiger bearing load. Priest in a bit of trouble. Priest goes down to the pack that was pushing up in support. Time on target drop, but pretty safe. Churchill coming in for some revenge. The Axis units already pulled back, so taking out the Priest. It's nice, not a huge deal, but
The enemy have destroyed a forward position.
still nice. Another, not sure what died there.
An emplacement
Oh
is being
boy.
attacked.
Panther might have overextended here, going in for the Jackson kill. And there we go. Definitely an overextension from Icon. And getting some hits on the Churchill, but that smoke's out there. Still pretty healthy too. And the huge health pool of the Churchill. Is that a fresh Priest already? Targeting the pack, but it gets out of there. However, that has opened up a lot of points of capture for the Axis. And for the centre, controlling both the sides. Before coming back in, a little bit risky here with that AT gun right there. Same with the 17 pounders, not facing up though. And Pack didn't pull all the way back here, which is again risky. So Tiger and Tiger sitting duck for the 17 pounder. Need to think a little bit more laterally, and I don't think I've seen any mines go down for the Allies. Heavy damage on to the Storm Tiger. Oh, the Tiger comes forwards and finishes the job on the Jackson. And blitzing away to safety. Sweetroll thinks better of charging in for the kill. Allies are capping on the far flank, and that is a lot of repairs required for these Axis tanks now. Probably where this P4 should be heading out to that far flank, try and get the cap going over there. Instead, looks like he's coming on the side, maybe where the Centaur was, looking for some weaknesses.
Proper thrashing. He's down to only 50 points.
I believe the Storm Tiger does have a damage bonus against emplacements. If you can even get close enough to land it, and especially without brace activated. Okay, Jagdpanzer are going to be the option for scoped next. He's still got quite a lot of manpower as well. Could squeeze in another squad or two of folks. Recruit some of these team weapons that have been lying around and do some more capping, which is desperately needed at this point. 41 VPs for the Axis. Oof, lucky that shot missed. Before getting away alive there, but that was a close call. And the repairs still taking forever. Jumbo's only just retreating, and Axis hanging on though, keeping the centre neutral. How long can they keep it up for? Jackson rebuilt already by Sweetroll. Allies going to complete the capture here. Doom Tiger taking some damage. These Commandos being really good at providing sight. These tank destroyers long range as well. They're going in deep here. Going to find the repair Pios. Let's bring a bit of an ambush on them here. Grenade out. Axis do react. Quite a few models lost, but not the end of the world. And here comes air supremacy dropped on the truck once again. Will it kill it this time? Tiger out of the front taking a lot of 17-pounder damage. Even the Jagdpanzer could take a few air supremacy shells here. Grazing damage on that first one. Dodges forwards. And this time the truck does fall. P4 on the side, going for the Centaur kill. Pack also in a pretty far forwards position here. Axis getting aggressive. BP pressure is on, 24 remaining. They do get the neutralize. Oh, but this time the P4 does not get out of there in time. It goes down to the M1. Looks like he popped take aim there as well to get an extra bit of range. And the AT-gun to help him get that finishing blow on. Panzer IV. Storm Tiger heading out to the far side this time. Storm Tiger doesn't quite get the kill on those rifles. Sweetroll reacting in time. The Axis do at least have 2 VPs under their control, and now they're pushing through the center. Waiting for the brace to wear off to maybe lob a few incendiary grenades here. No. They outright retreat. The Axis had some like AT guns pushing up here. They could get a lot of damage done. But now the infantry front line has been softened up too much, and they can't really get anything done. Oh, big damage on the P4. Oh, this thing's got hit bit one just from sitting in this exact same spot the whole game. It's pretty funny. Okay, here comes the Churchill. And there it goes. Pulling back a little bit. Recon plane in for Sweetroll. P4 looking to do some damage to the Churchill. Generally not a very good idea doing that. And yeah, especially that amount of health. AT on and the Churchill both penetrating and taking it down instantly. Big mistake there from Scoped. Lost both his Panzer IVs now. Another... oh, throwing that down in the center of the incendiary shell. So yeah, here we go, more shells coming through. Ross just cancelling it too early before. Tiger once again getting a tiny bit too close here. And a big hit there from the 17-pounder. I wonder if he activated the piercing shot. He could have got the kill there. Sweetroll coming forwards. Taking a tremendous amount of damage though. Oh, and it goes down. That was longer than max range, but do see the Jackson fall as well. An AT gun out here trying to do some attack rounds on the 17-pounder, but I think it's having some trouble with the elevation. The shots are not scattering into it. There we go, connecting now. Others coming forwards and spotting. Looks like the Jagdpanzer still in 17-pounder range, goes down, and the pair Commandos take down another unit. What a half-track falling to them. There's another air supremacy, so much munitions for Adamir. And not much of a dodge here from the Axis. I suppose they're kind of either side of it. Got big damage onto the Tiger there with that one. And there it goes. Tiger is down. A T-gun falling. And I would say that is it for the Axis. 16 VPs left. About 70 behind in terms of army size. GG. So I'll give a bit of a post-mortem now. Yeah, there were some decent ideas here from the Axis on how to counter things. I think they needed to be a little bit more coordinated in their efforts. Icon was really bad. In fact, both the Axis were quite bad about their AT gun positions, just constantly getting decrewed this game, which really hampered them. And Icon, not the best with the Werfer barrages, didn't get almost any damage done with his. But back the other way, an interesting idea, you know. Camouflage Commandos sneaking forward to take out rocket artillery. Kind of reminds me of Raketens of old, doing a similar trick. And did seem to be very effective, especially in this game in particular, but haven't seen any of that in the Ultimate Team tournament. Maybe it's something teams could look into in the future. Most teams go for Royal Artillery though, so don't have Commandos available to them, but yeah, it did seem to be pretty effective this game, and there we go. Axis finally throwing in the towel. So yeah, a bit of a tough start for the Axis. Scope losing his quite a few units early on, put them behind. And then Allies just setting up shop in the center. Axis never able to force them off. Do feel like they need to go for somewhat more of a coordinated all-in push once they accumulated like a larger army size. Maybe coordinating their artillery strikes a little bit more effectively as well, in terms of timing on the brace. But yeah, interesting strategy as well from the Allies, and did end up paying dividends for them. They got the win. Well, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you like good game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye, and good luck.